college football fans, and of course, good afternoon if you're listening somewhere else in the country. If you're on that Eastern Standard Time, welcome to 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We have just one more week of high school football left. Well, it's basically half gone already, as we have today's games, at least in California, and that's about it. And, well, we are coming down to the end. Tonight is a game that everyone's eyes should be glued on because, well, if you know a thing or two about Bryce Young, the school he came from, yeah, like the freaking football factory. I know it's Centennial's name, but let's just be real, it really is modern day. They're playing tonight versus Tom Brady's alma mater. Taryn pointed that out. Anyway, we have some great football coming up as well in the other levels. The RCC Tigers get ready and set to take on Community College, of course, San Francisco. Looking forward to claiming the title today. Hopefully that works out well, but best luck to both teams. Of course, bowl season is among us, and the IA is almost final and set. The lower divisions, Division 3 and Division 2, getting down to the nitty-gritty. FCS getting close to that line as well, and oh yeah, Army-Navy. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in live to 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Welcome, college football fans. Well, here we are yet again. We've been doing pretty good this year, staying on top of it. Man, I'll tell you, it has been so nice being able to do this show regularly as it should be. Still not in its full glory. Taryn and I will get it next year where we are like, yes, like we got our stats, we can talk about every single division in depth instead of just kind of going over important games and all that, or big time games and all that stuff. But this year we made it, we're creeping across that finish line, and we're feeling good. So, here we go. My boy, Marcus Lowe's great in the chat room. What up, Noah? What up, brother? Glad to have you, Mace. I need those picks. I'm trying to retire. We appreciate you, brother. Hey, man, always love you tuning in. And, man, we definitely enjoy having everyone up in here. So today should be a shorter show, but at the end of the day, well, there's not too much to get into, but then, of course, some big-time stuff to get into. So with that said, let me go ahead and introduce my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, a legend here at IE Sports Radio. He, of course, is IE Sports Radio Hall of Famer from last year, inductee of 2020, or class of 2020. He, of course, is all-around great guy, the founder of Set Point and host, the founder and host of the SoCal Spring Sports Show, and, of course, the host of this show, 3 and Out College Division. I don't know where IE Sports Radio would be without him. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in my boy, man. Proud to call him my brother from another mother, my boy, Taryn Rodriguez. What's going on, brother? How you doing today, man?
Hey there, dude. Great to be on here today. Maybe something called the today, and let's get it.
Let's get it, Taryn. I gotta lower this darn volume for the. They're fun, but I know. Hopefully they heard you, but I gotta lower that dang volume for the and upper your volume, of course, on the speaker. But anyway, brother, glad to have you here today, man, and looking forward to it. So let's get on into a little bit of high school because, well, first things first, the season ended last week. Let's first, of course, address the elephant in the room, Taryn. Last week, the college football championship, or if you will, conference championship weekend would come to a close. Of course, our winners as follows. Congratulations to all these following teams in the Conference USA. UTSA, congratulations to them winning it all this year. Utah, of course, is taking it to Oregon. We talked about that last week. Congratulations to Utah winning their first ever Pac-12 championship. Baylor getting it done last week, of course, in the Big 12. Congratulations to them for taking out Oklahoma State, or for winning that Big 12 title. Northern Illinois, congratulations to them for winning the MAC this year. Utah State would just step on San Diego State. That was a pitiful from the Aztecs. But hey, not taking anything away. Of course, we're Southern Californians, but awesome job by the Aggies, man. Utah State brought it 46-13 in the Mountain West Championship. Of course, number 24, Louisiana. The Raging Cajuns defeated Appalachian State 24-16. The Sun Belt, congratulations to them. The SEC Championship was a good one, but then again, it wasn't a good one. But then again, it was a good one. But then again, it wasn't a good one because Alabama just was dominant. Georgia balled, but let's just be real. Alabama was the real dominator in that game. 41-24. Congratulations to Alabama, winning the SEC yet again. In the American Athletic Conference, of course, the AAC, congratulations, number 4, Cincinnati, getting it done, 35-20 over number 21, Houston. Freaking Michigan. I mean, it's weird seeing them up there, but my goodness, they've done it, and we're not going to knock them. Amazing stuff there, even though I just did, sorry. But amazing stuff there from this team, and they've come so far. So congratulations to them. 42-3 over Iowa. Just incredibly overmatched team. Championship game, if you will. Michigan went in there and blew the doors off. 42-3, winning the Big Ten championship. Congratulations to them. Then, of course, number 15, Pitt. Congratulations to them, winning a pretty lopsided game as well over number 16, Wake Forest, 45-21 for the ACC championship. And that is it. We did have Cal and USC play last week, which no one cares about it. I'm just kidding. But congratulations to Cal, finishing off the season at 4-8. Oh, no, 5-7, sorry, winning 24-14 over USC, who finished 4-8. However, I'm just saying it's kind of nice that Lincoln Riley's heading on over to USC. We talked about that last week, but yeah, so that just put a stamp on a horrible season there. But anyway, Darren, that's how it all ended up last week. Any thoughts or comments on any of these championships last week?
So, Utah State won its first ever Mountain West Conference championship. That was actually the first ever Mountain West Conference championship for them and for Pitt, which was quite impressive. I had a feeling Alabama was going to take down Georgia just because Bryce Young is a baller. And there's speculations that he could be the Heisman Trophy winner for this weekend. Impressive stuff from Michigan. They just dominated Iowa. They're not the same old Wolverines. And all in all, it was some great championship games. Some were one-sided, but all in all, it was a great championship conference championship season. And how about Cincinnati? They finally broke through, and they are the champions of their conference, and they'll be going to the college football playoffs. So.
Dude, that's so awesome, man. So there we go. We have the college football playoffs set now. Some people agree, some people don't. But, Taryn, as it always goes, until we get the bigger tournament, which we've all been waiting for, which we don't know if it'll ever happen, at least we have something to watch. So, Taryn, the final rankings, of course, are as follows. As you just mentioned, freaking Cincinnati did it. They got in, man. Congratulations. Congratulations to those Bearcats, man. They got in. They deserve it. They, of course, are the number 4 seed, taking on number 1 Alabama. I'm gonna say it like this, Taryn. It was a classic moment. The moment that I found out Narco was playing Modern Day. Remember that?
Yep.
Taryn, why do I feel so similar right now to that?
Yeah, that basically is all too familiar.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Norco. Oh, well, at least it made it. So I really don't want to be a jerk and kind of count out Cincinnati, but it's like Cincinnati made it. They're good, good season. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but let's be real. I mean, they could look. I don't know. They could battle, but Taryn, do you really see Cincinnati taking Alabama? I mean, anything could happen. But come on, Darren. I mean, do you really see it? Do you?
Yeah, it's not really happening, honestly, because, well, Alabama's just too good. Everyone thought that this was going to be their regression year, and everyone imagine picking against Alabama, even when they're not favored in terms of points. So that's easy money right there.
Yeah, we have here. Marcus Lowe's great in the chat room saying Michigan super looks weird. He's like, I hope Alabama blows them out by 60. Taryn, he put more exclamation points that I think Spreaker could even handle inside this thing. And then he put I pray with about 25 exclamation points following. I mean, Taryn, I'm just saying, I'm not hoping and praying for anyone's football demise, of course. They're falling apart over here. But I'll tell you right now, dude, I'm just going to be real with you, man. I just can't. If they win somehow, cool, but I mean,
I at least want to be competitive.
I do too. I would want to see a competitive game. Of course, looking at you, NCAA, we're trying to get rid of this.
Yeah.
You know. I'm sorry, Taryn. I'm sorry, Taryn. Can you excuse me?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah. You too, Taryn. Yeah. It's all something's going around, man. I mean, seriously, dude. Freaking come on, NCAA. Get with it, man. We're going to talk about the triple CAA right now. Well, of course, that's a different system, but we're going to get into some other sanctioning, well, not sanctioning bodies, but the lower divisions got it right, man. I mean, can we just freaking have November or December madness? Can we please have that? Anyway, with that said, Taryn, well, that's pretty much that. And then, of course, we have the 2s and 3 seed Michigan. Man, they will take on Georgia, of course. And, well, that's it. The 4-team playoff is set. The first two out are Notre Dame and Ohio State. Rightfully so. Ohio State lost to Michigan. It is what it is. They're out. They'll find themselves in the Rose Bowl, of course, taking on Utah. That should be a good game. But Notre Dame and Ohio State, of course, they were the ones who were out. Real quick, Taryn, my good friend and I, Alex Gaines, of course, you know Alex, we talk a lot, and he just always says the same thing over and over and over. He's a diehard Notre Dame fan, but he's just so upset and angry that Notre Dame never joins a freaking conference. He's like, how's the whole school ACC? But that's stupid, like, tradition thing. You know, like, seriously, do we have to play USC, Stanford, and Army, and I forgot who else they play every year, but do we have, and I think it's Purdue. I'm not sure, but do we have to play them every single year? He's like, tradition, really? Because he seriously feels, and I agree with him, that Notre Dame not being in a conference hurts them so much when it comes time to deciding. I mean, Taryn, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I totally do. And it feels natural that they should be in the ACC, which would be a Power 5 conference, and they feel like a Power 5 team. So why not just slap them back in there? So it just doesn't make sense. Like, Notre Dame has to get something figured out. And I did hear that BYU is joining the Big 12, which is huge for them. So they're not going to be left out in the cold, and they should get that competitiveness. And remember, Texas and Oklahoma are leaving for the SEC in the next few years. So, yeah.
Texas.
Yeah, I said Texas and Oklahoma.
Texas. Taryn?
Yeah?
Why is Texas moving out of a conference that they can barely even keep up in to go to a conference that's like way harder? Taryn, why is this happening?
Because I guess Texas is back, but in reality they're not back. Maybe it's just the way Steve Sarkisian can get back with facing his buddy Urban Meyer, facing Alabama and whatnot.
Well, Taryn, I'm just saying, I can't stand Texas since 2006. I think everyone knows why as an SC fan. But even then, I'm like, wow, every year, Taryn, we like, for the last 2 years, we've been bagging on Texas because they're built so high and then they fall apart in the entire season. It just boggles my mind that this team would. So, I mean, yeah, I know programs can rise and fall and rise again, but still, it's just, wow. So, yeah, in Oklahoma, wow, they head over to the SEC. That Big 12 is dwindling, man. I mean,
the Big 12 is not so big after all.
No, it's not. And Notre Dame, I'm a geographical guy, and I will always fight for them to be in the Big 10 because, gosh damn it, it's right there. So, it bothers me. It's not the Atlantic. They're in the mid-freaking West, okay? So, it's annoying. But, anyway, Taryn, Marcus says here in the chat room, don't join a conference, but at least play some of these mid-high majors. Yeah, okay. He says play in Auburn or Florida or in Oregon. Can't even watch replays of that game. So pissed still. I am with you, Marcus. I guess Vince Young is the only player on that team. I'm sorry. I mean, it was so funny knowing that my Raiders drafted Michael Huff right afterwards, and I was like so bittersweet about him because I was like, oh, he's a great safety, but yeah, he played on that team, you know. But anyways, Aaron. With that said, brother, that's pretty much it. I mean, you know, Taryn, I don't have ESP. I have ESPN, as a coach once told me. So I can't read your mind. But is it safe to say that I think we're going to have the same national championship and probably the same outcome if we put our heads together right now and just predict it real quick?
Pretty much.
Are we both agreeing that Alabama and Georgia are probably going to step on these two teams?
Ooh, Alabama and Georgia. Well, Alabama is a given. I don't know about Georgia just because something tells me the moment's going to be too big for them, and I think Michigan might surprise them. And, I mean, if they really do get out of the semifinals, do they really stand a chance against Bama?
No.
Like, Nick Saban is a mastermind. So I think it's going to be Michigan and Alabama.
Well, if that does happen, it's just going to end up like the last decade. I mean, that's what I feel. If they somehow win, cool. Michigan can win it. That's sweet. But I just, once again, it's Alabama. So it's very hard for me, Darren, to say it's going to be anything else.
This is Nick Saban's world, and we're all just living in it.
Basically, yeah, that's kind of how it's going. So, yeah, I'm not opposed to a champion being somewhere other than Alabama. As a matter of fact, I prefer it because I'm getting sick of seeing Alabama win. But then again, let's just be real. Taryn, is Starbucks coffee good?
Sure. I haven't had their coffee, but
okay. Well,
I've heard mixed reviews.
Well, I'm just saying, Alabama is like Starbucks. You know, they're good because, well, they're better than everybody else. That's why you see a Starbucks in every corner. You know what I mean? Like, that's why. Because, well, they've done it. They are so amazing that they're on every freaking corner. So some people like it, some people don't, but let's just be real, it's like Alabama. Some people like them, some people don't, but you're not going to get rid of it. They're just, you know what I mean? Like, they're too dominant. Yep. So let's just be real, man. So, I related Starbucks to Alabama. I'm sorry. But anyway, with that said, brother, that is going to be that. Of course, next week, we're starting off bowl season. That's going to be fun. The Bahamas Bowl next Friday. We have Mid-Tennessee State taking on Toledo. And, of course, the Cure Bowl, where Northern Illinois will take on Coast Carolina. So, pretty cool, of course, after today's Army-Navy game, which, of course, we'll get to that later on today. But, Darren, we got to dip into the lower levels today, man, of course, for sure, in the high school. We had some good games last night. We got some great games today. Modern Day will be taking on Sarah, of course, of San Mateo, if I'm not mistaken. As you pointed out before, Tom Brady's alma mater. Darren, can you talk to us a little bit about those games from last night and the ones to look forward to tonight as the high school football season comes to a close?
So, yeah, I've been hearing that Modern Day is heavily favored against Sarah, and for good reason, too, just because they're having a phenomenal year. Despite all that's been going on in the headlines, they are just dominating everybody, and even though they had themselves quite the close semifinal against Corona Centennial, they are just continuing their strong gameplay. Elijah Brown has done a fantastic job at quarterback, only a sophomore, and he's just getting better. Remember, he had his freshman year was the COVID season, so basically he hasn't really had a full year off. Like, he basically just had spring and then summer and then fall, so it's been a grind for him, but he is adapting well, and I'm excited to see what he could bring to the table in this game. I'm pretty sure Modern Day is going to win this one because they are 2-0 in state championship games. And then as for some of the other games that happened yesterday, Cathedral Catholic defeated Folsom, which I knew they would. That is their third state championship. It is no surprise just because Cathedral Catholic put up 71 on Orange Lutheran the previous week, and that was even when Orange Lutheran put up 62 on them. So their previous game in the state regional championship was high scoring, and they still were able to take down Folsom. It got a little close, but they were able to just pull out the victory. And then in Division II AA, we have Mater Dei Catholic capping off the perfect season. Mater Dei isn't the only team. Mater Dei from Santa Ana isn't the only team that is undefeated and playing for a state championship. Mater Dei Catholic of Chula Vista capped off its perfect season. They defeated Central Catholic 34-25, and they won their second state championship, which is incredible. And basically, I said it last night on Twitter that with Mater Dei, we had one Mater Dei team winning. Can we get two? And it's most likely going to happen. And then other matchups that I kind of look forward to are Sierra of Gardena versus Liberty of Bakersfield, Aquinas versus Vanden. Vanden's looking for its first state championship, while Aquinas is still it's looking for its second state championship. And then Scripps Ranch and Wilcox is also a great game as well, just because Scripps Ranch is looking for its first state title, and then Wilcox is looking for its second state title. So those are some of the matchups that I'm pretty much interested in. Also got to keep an eye on Sacred Heart Prep. I believe they are looking for their first CIF crown as well. So, Sacred Heart Cathedral. So, yeah, it's totally different. So, either way, that's also a team to watch for. I think they lost in the state championship game back in 2013 to Corona Del Mar. Could be another Sacred Heart team, but either way, those are my games to watch for.
Awesome stuff there, Taryn, as always, brother. Definitely, let's just be real, man. Mater Dei, yeah, they're heavily favored. They're the team to watch. And like I said, some of you out there are probably like, oh, it's just California. And we're sorry, once again, we definitely want to get into more next year, like around the country. But, dude, Mater Dei, man, I mean, they're right here in our vicinity. Of course, more of yours because you're in Orange County by them. Over here in the IE. But at the end of the day, it's Aaron. Yeah, I mean, if you know who Bryce Young is, I think everyone does. Well, that's where they come from. That's where he comes from, and that's where they come from because they are they. Yeah, they are. They're major, okay? Mater Dei, if you don't know who they are, you kind of should get to know them. I mean, they're just the freaking champs, you know? So, absolutely incredible. And they're not going nowhere. So, I'm just saying, very good football team. So, with that said, Darren, yeah, those are some great games to watch for, and I think it's another natty should be going to Mater Dei at least. I mean, hey, all the best to Sarah. I feel bad for writing them off, but even Marcus says here, and Marcus is a native of Arizona, powerhouse. Of course, they have Hamilton over there. Hamilton, till this day, Darren, speaking of Arizona real fast, and Marcus, I hope you know about this, man, but real quick, man, can you recap that Hamilton, the Hamilton ending versus, what do you call it, Bishop Gorman this year, or at least a little bit of what you remember?
Actually, I'm just going to be honest. I actually didn't really remember Bishop Gorman and Hamilton playing with one another, so I kind of forgot if that matchup ever happened, and I apologize, but I can look it up. Either way, something else I got to make note of is that why is the CIF State Committee not having these games at neutral sites? Like, why? Like, some of these state playoff games or state championship games are at Saddleback College, which is a neutral site, but when it comes to some of the lower levels, like anything lower than I think Division 2A, I want to say, is not going to be at a neutral site. It's going to be in Northern California, which I think is absolutely bad. Like, 3AA and below has to play up in NorCal, which is not a convenience for the Southern California teams, as they either have to take a quick plane ride to Northern California or it's a long bus ride. So I'm just wondering why CIF State doesn't have like neutral sites like Cerritos College or Orange Coast College or any of that sort. Like, why just have one neutral site? Like, have others. Have like Veterans Stadium as as a neutral site? Like, maybe were they like fearing that the 3C2A was going to like cross over and whatnot? Like, it's just food for thought right there. Like, why are we having the lower levels not have a neutral site as well as the open division all the way down to Division 2A? That's something to ponder.
That's stupid. I didn't think about that. But yeah, that's kind of lame. Well, if you don't remember, Taryn, you sent me this where freaking Hamilton was down by like 21 points. They came back in like 5 minutes to beat Bishop Gorman this year in the last 5 minutes of the game.
I think so. I'd have to re-jog my memory.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. They came back and won it all at the very end. So yeah, even Marcus says here that Hamilton is nice, all capitals, but they will need to take out Chandler to be considered the big dog. And absolutely, man, Chandler, of course, numerous NFL players. We know how big they are, so how strong this team is. So we should get into them next week a little bit and talk about some of the bigger teams around the country, but. With big teams, but once again, man, looking forward to it. Of course, Notre Dame. Well, modern day, of course, looking strong, and I think, if everything goes the way we think it is, at least they should win another natty. But hey, we'll see. Upsets happen, and all the best to Sarah. So, with that said, Taryn, moving on over. Well. I am happy to. Well, first things first. Can you go ahead and recap for us last week, man? You were giving me every little information you can give me. Where RCC took on Golden freaking West, and it came down to the wire, brother.
Yeah. So when it came down to that little matchup, I actually was watching the San Diego State Utah State game at the time, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And Marcus knows this. Utah State was just blowing the doors off of San Diego State. It was downright embarrassing. And I said this on yesterday's show on the SoCal Supreme Sports Show. It got to the point where I stopped paying attention to the game and I watched the 3C2A championship. Well, not the championship, the Southern California championship. And that game went down the wire as RCC went up back. RCC led by 11 at one point, and it looked as if that they had the win locked up. Golden West had to drive down the field. I don't think they had any timeouts. They did have to score a touchdown, and then they were down 4. Yeah, they were down 27-23 because they missed an extra point or it got blocked. So they had to kick an onside kick, and I'm like, there's no way that RCC can butcher this. And then, unfortunately, Golden West recovered the onside kick. I'm like, oh no! Like, how do you mess up special teams? Not so special teams, I guess. So Golden West was doing their best impersonation of coming back, and they actually had one last play, and they threw it down the middle, and the receiver had the ball, but he was like 2 or 3 yards short, and then RCC was able to pull out the win. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was just wondering if RCC finds some way to blow this. I don't think Larry's going to be too thrilled about this. But props to RCC. They were able to defeat Golden West. Golden West had a fantastic season, nothing to hang their heads down about because they faced a powerhouse in RCC. And if you all remember, RCC beat Golden West earlier in the season. Golden West beat RCC earlier in the season. And RCC did not take that line down. It was basically, at that moment, they said, and I took that personally. And then when they found the rematch, they just needed to cross their T's, dot their I's, and do what they needed to do in order to pull off the upset. And they did, which was quite phenomenal for RCC. But again, Golden West had a phenomenal year. You can't take anything away from them. But you have to win when it truly matters.
Absolutely, Darren. What a season, man. I was stunned this year. Of course, I know it happens when your team wins it all, and then you're like, wait, what? When they do lose, of course you're gonna lose. It happens. But RCC, man, another powerhouse. We're reading Marcus' comment still, powerhouse, because it's true. It holds true for RCC too, but it was hard, man. It was hard to see them or to see that loss because it's like, come on, man, but then again, it happens. I thought for sure, I didn't think for sure, but honestly, dude, there was a big part of me that was like, well, hey, community colleges fluctuate. And you know what, man? We had our year. We won in 19. Very proud to be a Tiger, of course, one of my alma maters. I'm happy to wear that uniform, happy to play for that team, and to ball out for them. Back, of course, I mean, a while back, but still, I mean, it's just crazy to think that, well, the time might have been over for RCC, I mean, not like over, but not, not winning a title this year. And, well, it happened, man. We freaking won the South, defeated Golden West. I thought Golden West might run with it this year and either take it or somebody in the North would win it, or I don't know. But I guess it's been a strong team. And you know what, man? I'm happy. Today we have lots and lots and lots of excitement, lots to get ready for. And overall, Taryn, I'll tell you right now, man, this is going to be a very special game today. So it's going down at, of course, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. This game, actually, kind of cool, will be played at, if I'm not mistaken, in Walnut. Is it going to be played at Mount San Antonio, Mount Sac?
I think so. I'd have to double check that.
Yeah, let me go take a look. So, of course, last week Riverside defeating Golden West 27-23, and then, of course, up north we had San Mateo, which took on RCC 2 years ago in the last championship that was played because 2020 canceled last year, of course. But San Francisco, Aaron Rodgers' alma mater, City College of San Francisco, defeated San Mateo 20-17, and well, there is the championship all set for today on the 11th, as they will still don't see where it is, but San Francisco will head on over to take on Riverside Community College, my alma mater, and it should be pretty darn exciting in the state championship. I want to read this really quick, a little bit of information for you guys here. This was written on, let's see here. This is from the RCC website. Pretty cool little preview of the game. But let's see here if there is somebody, because I don't want to not cite this. Oh, the picture is by Bobby R. Hester, but I don't see anything here who wrote it. But released by Nico, I believe, Nicho, Della Valle, I believe, and pictures by Bobby R. Hester. So, hats off to them. And we have here video compliments of SoCal Sports. So, real quick, let's get through this real fast. So, a goal line stop sent Riverside College, or City College football team to their second consecutive CCC AA championship. Understandably, it was not the only reason why the Tigers defeated the Golden West Rustlers 27-23 in the Southern California Football Association Championship game, the SCFA. However, that moment can be tabbed as the most significant play of the season and the tackle heard around Southern California. On the final play of the game, sophomore linebacker and SCFA Central Division Defensive Player of the Year, Noah Purcell, dropped back into coverage in the middle of the field. The Tigers brought a light rush, giving the Rustlers quarterback plenty of time to survey the field as the clock rolled to zeros. From the Tigers' 15-yard line, the Golden West connected on a skinny post pattern and the 5-yard line, as what Taryn was saying earlier, in what seemed to be a for sure touchdown. In came Purcell. Purcell was the lone barrier between the goal line and the potential game-winning touchdown. His team-leading 60th tackle was the most important of his collegiate career, as it proved to be the final nail in the Rustlers' coffin. So there we go. We have it says now enter Riverside Community College into the state championship once again. And it has the video here too, so that's cool. The Tigers 10-2 will face off against the City College of San Francisco Rams 12-0 on Saturday, December 11th at 1 p.m. Yes, on the campus of Mount San Antonio College. So that's in Walnut, California, right here in Southern California. So all tickets can be purchased online. Okay, we have all that good stuff. So it's officially the golden era for Riverside football, as seen in a second straight bid to the championship ballot. In his 11th season at the helm, head coach Tom Kraft has led the Tigers to 2 consecutive Southern California championships and is looking to add another state championship trophy to his collection of accolades. In 2019, he snapped the 30-year championship drought that brought home both a state and national title. Riverside will look to hand City College of San Francisco their first loss of the season. They did to Ventura and Golden West in the Southern Regional Playoffs. The last team to win the CCAA State Championship while boasting an undefeated record was the Tigers 2019. Prior to the Tigers, it was Fullerton who held the last 13-0 record, but forfeited the title after suffering unfortunate, of course, and I'll put that in there, unfortunate, CCAA violations. I guess it sucks when that stuff happens, but anyway, in the SoCal championship game, it was tough sledding in the first half as Riverside only scored 3 points. Nevertheless, the Tigers exploded for 24 points in the second half behind strong quarterback play and timely defensive stops. Freshman Jordan Barton leads the Tigers under center after being named the most valuable player in the SCFA championship game. He went 28 for 38. Nice. With 312 yards and 2 touchdowns. In his 3rd time this season throwing for more than 300 yards and his 8th straight game with a touchdown pass. He has tossed 4 total touchdowns in playoff action and has only surrendered the ball 1 time. His favorite target comes in from... so there's a lot more to read, you guys. I don't want to... I don't want to go too much into this. I know we got to, finish the show and everything. But players to watch, okay? So there you go, a little bit of RCC coming your way. Players to watch: Jordan Barton, of course, of RCC, Lawrence Starks, Jamal Houston, Juwan Tucker, Marquise Ashley, Ricardo Chavez, Noah Purcell, DeMarco Moorer, and Carlton Johnson. For San Francisco, Jack Newman, Jeffrey Welmer, Sean Allen, Devon Walker, Elias Rantissi, I believe, Javius Liu, I believe, also, Frederick Thompson, and Sam Lockett. So, with that said, Taryn, we got a good game today, man. 1 o'clock.
So, yeah, I think RCC can take the win. If there's any giant killer out there, it's for sure RCC, just because, well, I don't think anyone should have written them off, and I think that was what fueled the fire. I think everyone wrote them off thinking this was going to be a down year for them, but I think RCC has the momentum. They're starting to surge as of late, and it's not a dig on anyone that thought that everyone else was going to do better than them, but I thought RCC just performed well when it mattered most, and I think RCC is deserving of this. So I have the Tigers winning, probably in another close one. So we'll see.
Well, brother, I'm right there with you, man, because you know what? I can't not go against this. I mean, I can't go against this team, man. I mean, I'm a Tiger to the core. You know, I've loved it. Like I said, wearing that uniform, being able to put in a lot of work for that team, man. It's ball. You know, it was awesome during the time I played. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it done, but these teams now are getting it done. This is great cheering them on, you know, because we're all part of a brotherhood that got to be on that field. They got to be on that practice field. They got to be on that main field. They got to put in all that work, you know, and it's awesome, man. So definitely excited for that. And there you have it. So RCC today taking on CCSF. Should be a good one. 1:05 p.m. Pacific time. Let's see how it goes. So with that said, Taryn, drifting off now over into just talking about what we got coming up next week in the NJCAA. Earlier this year, or not earlier this year, wow. Last week, we had some greatness happening, of course, in the NJCAA, man. And, let's go ahead and give a small little recap of that. So, NJCAA playoff action last week, it was pretty awesome. The stage, of course, is all set. And we have 2 teams that are greatly deserving of that getting it done. and, well, showing that they definitely belong there. So, in NJCAA action last week, we would have the New Mexico Military Institute getting it done, and, of course, we would have the Iowa Western, of course, getting it done. And they will meet in the NJCAA Championship coming up. That is next Friday, so we'll have plenty more. Of course, we'll have maybe a little bit of an article to read, and talk about that. But NJCAA action, man, great stuff. We both picked snow last week, Taryn.
Yep.
We both picked snow, and, well, they didn't get it done. However, really cool last week to see, these teams just flourish as they have. And, well, here we are now. And last Saturday, Iowa Western will defeat Snow 30-29, a 1-point game. And then on Sunday, New Mexico Military just went at it, man. They took out Northwest Mississippi 49-30. And there you have it. Next team up on the docket for both these teams. Go head-to-head on the 17th once again. It's going to be a good one. We have New Mexico Military taking on, number 2 New Mexico Military taking on number 1 Iowa Western at War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock, Arkansas for the 2021 NJCAA Division I Football National Championship. So, with that said, Taryn, we'll be talking about that, of course, next week. But that's going down. Also, in the NAIA, for those of you who are NAIA fans, know Marcus is. We had the final couple games go down this past week, and man, there were some good ones. But NAIA action will go as follows, as we have here Morningside knocking off, number 2 Morningside knocking off number 4 Northwestern 28-20. I forgot the score. But regardless, they won it. And then move forward. Morningside wins this thing. And then, of course, put the wrong score here. And then Grandview, number 3 Grandview. Lindsey Wilson will get it done. And here we are, you guys. Grandview will defeat Lindsey Wilson 34-28. We both had Lindsey Wilson going, but dude, they're not a fluke. In my opinion, they still made it. They still got that far. They're a strong freaking team. And, well, here we go. Morningside and Grandview all set for next week. Marcus says, indeed, in the chat room. He knows a thing or two about that good NAIA football. I love how he said in the chat room one time here on the show that it's giving kids second chances. And it really is, man. So, National Championship, of course, Grandview versus Morningside coming up next Saturday on the 18th. That should be a good one. And then, of course, we're getting into the other levels. Today, the NCAA Division 2 and 3 going at it right now, as we just had a few teams get underway. And, well, it looks a little something like this. So, of course, Taryn, we'll get into the other stuff. We will definitely get into that next week, talking about, those other championships. We might have to double dip and go on a few different times. But, Taryn, brother, man, this has been crazy. In the quarterfinal of Division 3, Mary Hardin Baylor took it to Linfield 49-22 to advance. And Wisconsin Whitewater defeated Central out of Iowa 51-21. Now, Mary Hardin Baylor will be taking on Wisconsin Whitewater today. And then, of course, on the other side, North Central, the defending champions for 2019, will defeat Rensselaer. Hope I'm not butchering that name. 55-6, just taking them out. And then, of course, Mount Union having a very non-Mount Union game, but big ups to the Muhlenberg Mules, man. They gave them quite the fight, but Mount Union went on 35-29 to win this thing. And right now, Mount Union and North Central, 2 teams that are former champs, of course, in this last decade, are going head-to-head. Mount Union leading North Central 7-6 with 6:21 to go in the second quarter. And then, of course, all set to go in about an hour, about 2.5 hours, Mary Hardin Baylor taking on Wisconsin Whitewater. Darren, who are you taking in this Final Four, man?
Oh, well, I think in Division III, you said, right? I was just looking back at the NJCAA. You forgot the Division III championship, the inaugural Division III championship.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, there is the inaugural. You want to go over that, Taryn?
Yeah. So, congratulations to DuPage on defeating Nassau 34-29 in a thriller of a game. DuPage actually won that in the last 30 seconds. Matthew Brown threw a 33-yard touchdown, or Brooks Blount threw a 33-yard touchdown pass to Matt Brown, and that eventually sealed the deal. Gotta give credit to Nassau, though. Like, they came back from a 21-point deficit, and they almost won the game. Unfortunately, they fell just a little short as DuPage was able to pull a comeback out of their hat, and it's incredible. And I'm just wondering where Division II is. Why do they have to go from Division III all the way up to Division I when it comes to the NJCAA? So, yeah, it's a little weird in my opinion, but just some random food for thought. That's my take.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but yeah, dude, that's crazy. Well, with that said, Taryn, I completely agree, man, and yeah, sorry about that, skipping over to Division III, or skipping them, but yeah, man. So anyway, so Division III in, of course, the NCAA, man. Who are you taking in that Final Four, man?
I'm taking Mary Hardin and Baylor and Mount Union. No.
Well, I'm with you. I'm pretty sure Mount Union, they'll find a way to win this thing. And Mary Hardin Baylor, I want to see that again. They're going to go head-to-head. I'm still going Mount Union, even though North Central won it all last 2 years ago. But that Stag Bowl, you guys, coming up next Friday. Don't miss it. Division III, great football, man. That's where I played. 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern, of course, next Friday night. Should be some good stuff, of course. So we shall see how that goes. Make sure to stay tuned, of course, right here to the Twitter page of the show at 3&Out CEIE. Of course, that is all spelled out. Of course, 3&Out CEIE. Give you all the updates and all kinds of good stuff there. Gotta get more active on there, but we're doing pretty all right. We're doing our best. So, and then of course in Division II, man, Shepherd. How about Shepherd knocking off number 1 seed in the upper left bracket, 30-28. Shepherd defeats Kutztown, and then Ferris State knocked off Northwest Missouri State 41-20. Ferris State and Shepherd will play today at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then, of course, the game that's already underway. Bowie State, man, they played so well, but couldn't get it done, getting all the way to the quarterfinals. However, Valdosta State got it done 41-17 as they will go head-to-head with Colorado School of Mines, who defeated Angelo State last week 34-26. And well, right now, Valdosta State is leading Colorado School of Mines 17-10 with 10:54 to go in the second quarter. And as I said earlier, Ferris State will be taking on Shepherd in just a little bit. Who are you taking in that Final Four, Taryn?
I'm taking Ferris State, and I gotta take Valdosta State just to be safe. Yes, I'm boring taking the top seed, but I gotta go with Ferris State. They look pretty impressive. Like, we can't sleep on Shepherd as well, just because they have been in quite a high scoring affair. They put up 30 in their past few games, in all of their playoff games. So we'll see if Ferris State's defense can step up.
I agree. I'm going to be boring too and take the same thing, but it's just hard, man. Ferris State balls. I mean, I don't know. I feel like these two top teams should be there. So, yeah, I think Valdosta.
Ferris State's only given up 20 points per game in terms of the playoffs. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, you are good, because that's impressive, Terry. That's impressive, man. So, yeah, so I'm taking the same thing there in the championship. And then for all the marbles, dude, I don't know. Ferris State would fall short last time, but dude, I can't help it, man. I'm going to go with Valdosta State to win it all.
I surprisingly think the same way. I think Valdosta State could also beat Ferris State, but we'll have to see how the chips align and how the chips fall or whatnot.
We shall see, brother. So, in the FCS last night, we had the first game of the quarterfinals, and man, Montana, they brought it, but James Madison just brought more of it. As James Madison will knock off Montana 28-6 as they advance to take on the winner of a game going on right now, of course, the Giants. They're still, even though they haven't, been as dominant as they've been in the last decade, in these last couple of years, the Bison of North Dakota State are still strong, and, well, here they are, leading ETSU 6-0 with 4:34 to go in the second quarter. The winner of that game plays James Madison in the semifinals. And then, of course, today we have Sam Houston State taking on Montana State and Villanova taking on South Dakota State. And the winners of those two games will play in the semifinals next week. Taryn, real fast, man. I mean, dude, I still am taking the Jacks, man. I mean, are you still sticking with the Bison?
Yeah, them or Sam Houston State, but I am confident that North Dakota State can get it done just because they no longer have the pressure of being the number 1 seed. They're the number 2 seed, but I think that gives them that extra hunger to and motivation to possibly take down some of the top dogs. Sam Houston State's not that invincible just because they had a high-scoring affair against UIW, and it's why so high? And I'll be interested to see how Montana State does. That's because Montana State nearly pitched a shutout, and we'll see. We'll see. And Montana State is resilient despite them losing to Dayton. So also keep an eye out for South Dakota Villanova.
That should be a good one, man. Good stuff there, and looking forward to it. And then, of course, Taryn, final game today. We got to give this one applause because this is our service academy. So, Army-Navy going head-to-head today. This is always an amazing game. It is the 122nd running of this football game. First and foremost, thank you. Once again, applause, y'all. Thank you to all the brave women and men who put their lives on the line, or, of course, gave it all to protect this amazing country that we live in. So we thank you, and we love you all so very much. Thank you for that. And, seeing the service academies play, it's awesome because these people, they're all going to be heading on into the military. Pretty cool, and they are on their way in. They're there. And these service academies are awesome, going head-to-head every year. It's so cool to see them. And this is just a special day for them. Such a cool game as you see all of these people that are serving our country, because in this arena, so it's really cool to see it. And today they are going head to head in MetLife Stadium, by the way, so the home of the Giants and of the Jets. And really quick, this article written here by CBS staff. This was, my goodness, this was written, not too long ago. But really quick, CBS Sports. It's a 3-minute read here. So, 2021 Army-Navy game predicts odds line, college football picks, best bets from expert on 27, done 10-7 roll, I guess. So here we go. After being held 20 points on or fewer in 4 consecutive games, and 7 of their first 9, the Navy midshipmen finally have found their offensive stride. Navy scored 35 points in a loss to East Carolina on November 20th, and followed with a season-high 38 in a victory at Temple 7 days later. The midshipmen, 3-8, hope to continue their surge when they square off against the Army Black Knights, 8-3, for the 102nd Army-Navy game on Saturday. Navy owns a 61-53-7 record in all-time series, but dates back to 1819. But Army has won. It dates back to 1890. Oh my goodness, I can't talk today or read. But Army has won 4 of the last 5 meetings. Crazy to see that, because when we were in high school, Taryn, or me in early college, of course, and you in high school, Navy was dominating for a little bit. So it's cool the tides have turned a little bit. But anyway, kickoff from MetLife, of course, coming about 3 o'clock today, and should be pretty awesome to see this game go, to see these guys go head to head. And that's just a little bit there from CBSSports.com. But yeah, Taryn, as you can see, the Black Knights are coming in with just massive. They played some good football this year, man. They're 8-3. Looking at their schedule here on ESPN.com, dude, they played some good football this year. They hung in with Wisconsin, which Wisconsin was very, very unimpressive this year. Sorry, but yeah, they played some good football though, man. They hung in there with a lot of teams. They went to war with Wake Forest this year, 70-56. They lost, but they freaking still got it done. I mean, they put up 56 points, man. I mean, they gave up 70, but still. They defeated Air Force this year in overtime, 21-14. I mean, you know, they've done it. They've played some good games this year, and they also would. They're in a bowl game. They're playing the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl versus Missouri. So there you go. And yeah, and Navy. Wow, they have just fallen off, man. They have just been beaten a lot this year. They would win a few games over UCF. They would actually play a very good number 24 SMU team at the time, and they would barely lose by 7 points, 31-24. But overall, and crazily enough, they would play Cincinnati this year, number 2 Cincinnati, and they would barely lose, 27-20. Of course, it was a loss. They would get shook by Notre Dame a couple weeks later. Notre Dame was number 10 at the time, 34-6. But overall, they've done a lot. I mean, they've had some close wins. Then they have some weirdos. They're not being a bowl game this year. But Taryn, who was your pick in this game and why?
I am picking, without a doubt, Army.
I want to be able to support Navy in some way, just because, well, I support all service academies. But, dude, yeah, I think this one's pretty one-sided. The Black Knights have done really well this year, and, well, I think it's safe to say that this year, Army should be getting it done. Navy has had their run-ins with some tough games. But, hopefully they'll be back on their feet soon. But, man, the Army this year looking strong, or Army looking strong this year. And, yeah, I'm taking Black Knights all the way. So, yeah, man. So, with that said, Taryn, dude, we got a lot of good football coming up, man. And then next week, bowl season, bowl season's coming up and all that fun stuff. So, we got plenty more. We are far from done here, man.
Oh, yeah, we got plenty more where that came from. Got lots of college football going on, and when we all thought we would run out of material, keep coming on back. So, it's down forever.
That's for sure, Taryn. So, all right, brother. Do you know what time it is?
Yep.
It's about that time to cue the music, because we're out of here, brother. All right. Well, with that said, Taryn, great as always, man. Great having you on today's show, man, talking all that great football. And definitely reminded me that there's the Division 3 in NJCAA. With that said, Taryn, where can all these diehard fans find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Taryn Rodriguez1. You can also find me on Twitter at set_point.ie. That's where all my volleyball stuff comes from. And you can follow the SoCal Spring Sports Show at SoCal Show IESR. Mainly just follow me on Twitter at Taryn Rodriguez1. That's where all my main content is.
Well, appreciate it. I'm doing the floss. Hey, man, appreciate you for tuning in today, Mr. Marcus Losgrave in the chat room. Show us some love, y'all, of course. Give us a follow at 3&out, CEIE. Give me a follow, your boy Larry B, THEE_LB53. You can give us all a follow there. Of course, you can give me a follow there. You can give us all a follow at iSports Radio, on Twitter, Instagram, at iSports Radio, and, of course, give us a like at iSports Radio on Facebook. We certainly like that. So, shout out to our sponsors, of course, the SoCal Warriors, semi-pro football team at SoCal Warriors on Twitter, and of course, our boy Kit Freeman, www.bcint.com. Show them some love, man, www.bcint.com. Professional background checks only, but Kit Freeman is the man. So, professional background checks, get them done there, and that's it. So, big ups to our sponsors. Of course, you can follow me, your boy Larry B, at THEE_LB53. And, well, that is that, y'all. Once again, at THE_LB53. That's it for Taryn and I. For Taryn Rodriguez, for me, your boy Larry B. We will see you next week. Until then, take care. And as always, God bless.